Texas A&M, University of Nebraska-Lincoln. One of the books already, and we will finish it right here, right now. Day one of college deadlock, new season. Kind of the same old song and dance here, Sorin. These teams are good. We know they're good. We watched them last season, and we are eating just as good as we did last time.
Yeah, we were talking behind the scenes, just like how satisfying it is to watch two teams be good at deadlock. Multiple times, just like keeping your eye on the mini maps, seeing teams rotate. I mean, even the ending of that game was like, you're not ever gonna get that unless you've got two good teams playing against each other. You're forced to play to the edge of your limits. You have to send 5 people for the mid boss, otherwise the other team can contest that and try and win out. But you also have to get your wave states because you just got backdoored. So, like, this is what we get into when we get into like 12 people in the lobby who know the game really well, and I'm excited to be here for the last game of the day. This is it. Texas A&M have already put one on the board, but there's still one game to play for Nebraska. Can they bring it back?
Yep. Don't forget, yes, it can be a tie. They can split it down the middle, but it's big picture. We do the whole season. You get points based on if you 2-0 or split. So if Texas A&M grab the second one, hooray, they get more points. So there it is. So we'll play our 2-game set, and we'll see where everything lines up here. But watching good macro response is a caster's version of a Zen garden. Just watch it go up, watch the response, watch the shift, watch it go up, watch the response, and I'm happy. That's why we come here. Ban's out. No Shiv. No surprise. Banned out in game 1. Don't want to see him. So he's banned here as well. You were talking earlier, we kind of working out in a tank meta type vibe, and Shiv punishes that, so thumbs up.
Yeah, and expect to see kind of the same thing here from Nebraska. Interesting, the teams have swapped sides, and Texas A&M kept the same ban, so Nebraska get their choice of which one to ban out. And they're going to take away the Yamato. I mean, after Nevtik had a kind of rough early game, and so if they're not quite as confident in their Yamato play, they can at least take that one away from the Aggies and hope that they get either Billy or Abrams here on the backside. Abrams was the one banned away before, so you gotta wonder if Aggies want to repeat that one and give Stromo back his Billy. Looks like that will be the case. Abrams gonna come in.
The more and more I think about it, I think Abrams might be one of my favorite deadlock characters. Not overwhelmingly flashy, especially with the world of Celeste and all the people that have come out, but just always serviceable. I always want a shoulder charge in my comp. I always want an Abrams ult. It's just always decent. And when you've got a good pilot, when you've got an aggressive player that knows how to lane with it, all of a sudden, it's just a character that has a lot of versatility and can really shove people into lockers if piloted correctly. So I just think he's very dynamic and makes for interesting team fights. And I think Billy's in the same conversation, just able to group people up and make a lot of noise.
I will say, both of those are definitely the privilege of being behind the desk rather than behind the keyboard of the players, because you don't love being the guy who gets shoved into the locker by Billy or Abrams, but sure is fun to watch someone else take that pressure on. So Nebraska and Texas A&M each have their own little bullies, and Nebraska will pick up the Geist this time. Bit of a switch up from her going all the way to second ban phase.
I like the Geist. Geist is spooky, though. Geist is, I feel like, the difference between a good Geist player and somebody that needs to work on it a little bit is so razor thin, right? And it's a confidence pick. So I want to see UNL, be aggressive, but the right amount of aggressive. Billy's a good look to work with her, though. Some crowd control along the way. And then we've got the Pocket locked in here. And well, if Abrams is one of my favorite, Pocket, they might be one of my least. Just so obnoxious to play against and just a fantastic initiator. So 2 initiations on the Aggies side. I'm never going to say no to those drafts.
Yeah, Pocket definitely going to make good use of Nebraska's comp here. We noted the Affliction last time and how much it did in some of these team fights. Could have maybe had a little more impact. There wasn't really that one breakout play where we thought, yeah, this is why you picked the Pocket. But consistent value, still there for the Aggies and going to come in again against the Geist, who, as you said, that is a character of playing on a knife's edge. You get down to low HP and one shot finishes you off, but also your ultimate's right there. The shiny, I'm thinking Bilbo. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I take more damage before using my ult? The answer is you get sniped by a Paradox Carbine from Aggies.
Selected.
It's the hard truth of it.
Yep. Second round bans after Lash locked in here for UNL. The Paradox across the way. Did well last time around. We saw one really super highlight reel play from the Paradox. And other than that, just solid inclusion into the team fights. Kind of similar to what you were saying about the Pocket, honestly, where you did it, but you're not necessarily on the highlight reel. So not mad at the reselection. The Kelvin banned out by the team playing Lash. Grass is green, water is wet. That's what you're supposed to do. You play Lash, you don't let him play Kelvin. That's what we do here.
All right, so you're on the water is wet side of that debate. Good to know.
Oh, well.
On here. Are we going to get into that one? We got time before the end of the draft.
Ugh, I don't think we have time for it. I'm only here for 4 more hours. We have a gone Mirage, so none of the Traveler. No, thank you. And the Wraith shows up one more time. Not going to complain.
Hey.
Late game carries. We saw her a lot in the first match, and now making her appearance here in the second.
Yeah, the takeaway from Macro on the A&M side. He's used that one as a comfort hero a lot of the time. Kelvin also gone. So Aggies now have to decide if they want to essentially pick up just worse versions of that with like a Warden and Page here. Or if they want to switch things up entirely and really show us their flexibility here, because that is one thing that I want to see from Texas A&M. What happens now that your comfort has been taken out, and it's going to be the Mina instead.
Ooh.
A serviceable carry, but not nearly as late game as the Aggies wanted to fight last time.
Which is revealing. I think you look at the Wraith across the way and you say, all right, y'all want to go real late? We don't. Give me Mina, and we'll end it. We'll end it before you get there, right? Like that is part of the that is part of the idea. Your win condition just peaking earlier than your opponents. And did you pay somebody off today, Sorin? Like, do we gotta check your transaction history? He's pulling up the PayPal right now for the second time tonight. Sorin's favorite character of McGinnis shows up from out of nowhere. This is a character that really doesn't get played that much. And not only did she get played, she did well. And now she's here again, so you can't complain about it. Great pick.
Yeah, Encore, a little light on the data side from what I had when I was doing research before this. Wraith and Mirage were the only 2 characters that I saw they really played a decent amount of. Both those gone in both games before they could get to it, and so apparently McGinnis, another comfort pick. And one thing a lot of us McGinnis players do is play a lot of McGinnis. If you play her, you've probably got a couple hundred games, so that picked up for Aggies. Seemed really solid on that, honestly. Couldn't point out any noticeable flaws, and so Nebraska now have to find an answer to what Aggies were doing in the last game, and that's going to be with the Holiday here. I think this is a really good comp coming out from Nebraska Esports so far. The Billy Chain Gang is going to be so helpful against this Mina, one of the only tool in the game that can shut down both avenues of escape that a Mina has. And you've got plenty of late game damage to do your team fight, your pick. I think the only thing they're missing is like a hard support for Arctic. I want to see if they're going to pick that up here with their 6th pick. There's the Dynamo.
So one of the beautiful things about Deadlock is that the compositional requirements are so much more lax compared to literally every single other MOBA, right? Like you don't need to run the POS 1 through, you don't need to run the one of every archetype. You can run we saw 5 carries win earlier, so like you could totally do that. And there are better but when they do go kind of just like classic MOBA, it does scratch my brain a little bit. Like oh, how nice. We've got the hard carry, we've got the second carry, we've got the initiator, we've got the tertiary carry, we've got the supplemental control, we've got the big man, big X ult from Dynamo. Like this is what you studied in MOBA 101. So not necessarily the end all be all. They might not have even won the draft, but I like when I see one of everything kind of represented. Feels well-rounded. And so the Aggies have to run into it. They've got some front line. They've got some initiation. They've got some control. And they've got whatever Nebraska's bringing too. So that last ult, mine. That black hole, mine. Sinclair's tough to play. But when he shows up, he shows up. So I'm here for a show.
This is a really big Sinclair game for the Aggies. You've got some of the best ults in the game to copy. You've got the black hole, as you called it, the Lash ultimate. And then sneakily, you've got Billy Chain Gang coming in there as well. There's a secret hidden tech where you can TP with the assistant while you've got the Chain Gang active and drag people a really long ways away. So I want to see if that tech's going to come out here, but I'm liking this from the Aggies. Both sides are bringing some heaters here. I think Aggies win it out just slightly in terms of like raw hero value. But Nebraska have, as you said, a nice front-to-back lineup here. And if they can coordinate on some of these big ultimates, they can really find their stride. And if you can get this Wraith and Geist carry, you're going to have a great time past 30 minutes.
I do agree with you. For a second, I was like, oh, he's just being biased because of the McGinnis. But I actually do agree with you. I like how kind of quintessentially all-rounded UNL's team is, as I said before. But real talk, if we think about the interactions between individual characters, and at the end of the day, what the Aggies are bringing is more disjointed, right? Nebraska has their song on the chart. They want to hit this button, then this button, then this button, then this button, and they hope the song comes out good. The Aggies are playing jazz. They can go in with a number of different initiations. They can follow up after the fact. They really can find a bunch of different approaches, and having that curveball, honestly, the knuckleball of Sinclair as well, just really keeping everybody on their back foot, sometimes even your team, like, that is going to be very, very fun because they just have a lot of tools. And so ultimately, this is up to the Aggies to be able to really have fun. Real talk, it's up to the Aggies to be creative about how they find their victories, and Nebraska, it's a little bit more cut and dry, but they still got to find that victory. Game 2. Let's get it.
See it happen. Early pressure here from Plague on this Abrams, taking the transition away from the support role to a bit more of a front liner. We see how these lanes shake out. It's going to be the same mid lane this time. Gigabyte and Encore repeating their performance. An Encore, if you will, in that mid lane, going up against the heavy spirit poke of Geist and Holiday. But we got some action here over on the right side. Mina takes an early parry. He goes down. Arctic now in trouble as well, but he's got some support from the Billy. We do some classic NA burger boxing.
Hey, there it is. One more does it. Neptic puts down the Whisper. You like that? Whisper for psst.
Yeah, nice.
Is that good? Yeah, Chat?
Thanks.
Only
I like my time
tell
zone
me if it
jokes
was
better
good.
personally, but hey.
Oh, I like that. That's a pretty Pacific joke.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty standard personally, but, you know, right twice a day.
Man, you really one-upped me there. I got nothing. That was good.
Bad puns are my thing.
Look at him. Oh, now I know. Right side. Trouble for Billy again, though. You really weren't kidding. This is a burger brawl. This time around, the Sinclair gets the answer. And so it's able to get not just one, but two. Arctic falling down here, so just a rumble in the jungle. Why are we fighting so much, man? Hit your troopers.
It's pre 2 minutes. You've got no boxes to go and take, and so the only souls that I see are the ones in your pocket. Give them here.
No boxes. Must box.
Yes.
Small camp
I'm here to
being
take
assaulted
boxes
here.
and use these boxing gloves, and I'm all out of boxes.
And Nebraska's out of small camps. Great job. And all jokes aside, that's the answer to the question. Why are you fighting? So that you can play and go ahead and steal the smalls. That is your goal at this point in the game. Later on, that extends into boxes, and of course at 8, that extends into sinners, and it really, that's why you're looking for lane presence. Like I said, you don't need the kills. You'll take them. But you just need the space and the pressure to get the souls from all the little statues, boxes, campers, etc. So finding that pressure is the goal, and outside of mid lane, looks like we've got even pressure on left and right. So mid, though, McGinnis providing said pressure, no surprise. Wraith getting early active and maybe shouldn't. There's friends here. One more shot will do it. Pocket can't find the crosshair. Pocket falls down finally. As Cloud gets the last hit, Wraith couldn't get it. And the Abrams in some trouble here.
And the follow-up, great moves here from Plague, able to get away, use that passive regen. Looks like it got a medic creep as well. He'll be able to survive on 1 HP, but as you said, these small camps are the goal. And they are the gold as they come out here. Nebraska Esports with great laning so far. That mid lane, as you said, getting pressured up by the McGinnis. Stromo is taking a beating in that lane, but as soon as he gets his ult online, that'll change things around. Shoulder charge from the Abrams, trying to turn things around. Big damage here from Pocket, and Cloud goes down.
Important play. Left side still hitting that gas pedal. Wraith is going to be behind the Guardian. She needs to be here for the farm. She needs to be present, but she's getting threatened. And all of a sudden, Holiday runs into the Abrams. This is an advantageous matchup for Abrams, in all honesty, but he's on the wrong side of the map, and so intelligently he walks away, knowing, I might win the duel, but I'm going to lose the fight after the fact. And Neptic continuing to be a nuisance and making sure Macro Jesus can't reach that devastating Mina mid-game.
Can I just, like, step in and be Encore? Because, like, he's got a 4.5-minute Guardian. He is living out the McGinnis dream right now. Like, that is insane pressure. And it's facilitated partially by Skelly rotating over left to try and deal with his Abrams. But I feel like almost that was a, okay, my Guardian's going down anyway. I might as well do something elsewhere.
Agreed. Yeah, you just...
I see Holiday.
Yeah. Breaking out over these buffs.
You just call that one. Mina ults out. Nothing doing. And the left side is going to be aggressed on. Answered the call has been Holiday. Wraith is here too. The rest of them are yellow jerseys. And there's Skeely getting her kill. Do not step to my Guardian. That's how you do it. I wanted to talk about this Holiday, and now she's making me. Good bath, and Cloud finishes it. I think this Holiday is the linchpin to this Nebraska draft, and I'm not kidding. I really think that a lot of this game is going to be played through there.
All right. Well, let's see it then. No Holiday Lasso yet. Skelly so far falling behind in the soul count, but now we're going to see what else can happen as Pacifist gets on the black hole. No time inside that one, but he goes down very low to do so. Neptic also low here for Nebraska Esports. It'll be the Sinclair picked out first. Nebraska fighting back where they can. They may have lost a Guardian, but they are not out of this just yet. Stromo now in the mid lane, trying to farm up as much as he can on that Lady Geist. And the left side seems to be the one where everyone's bringing the heat. Here on the right side, Billy just trying to do his best. Neptic making up for last game.
A little bit of a push. Halfway done with the Guardian on right side. Mina didn't die, but got pushed back to base. So she had to speed boost her way back. Like I said, halfway done with that Guardian. Everybody else comfortable. Except for, you know, the lane across from McGinnis. That's destroyed. Cloud gets another kill. Oh, man. Lash has been active early. Big play here from Mina. Running in the air. Billy's going to find something, but both of them are low. Who's got friends is the question. And it's Mina. The answer from the outside puts Neptic onto the outside. And now you've got a 3-man push from the Aggies onto the right lane. And the mid lane, well, it's still McGinnis. So it's all about the right lane. Fight goes to the Aggies. 2 players in the ground. And the Guardian will be answered, so not taking out this one half as well. Wow. Great defense on the right side of the map from both teams.
Yeah, and crucially, Stromo not able to get off that Geist ult, the Essence swap. Left to rot. But now both teams will be able to come back in onto their struggle lanes. The Guardian doesn't fall for Nebraska. And on this left side, Abrams is able to hold out long enough for some backup to come in the form of Encore. 6.8k on this McGinnis. Needs to find the damage now onto someone. Sometime, even. Stabilize.
Guardian falls. A big commit there from Nebraska. Just a Guardian, but they wanted to be able to rotate a little bit more, less problematic, I suppose.
Whoa.
Big Cloud, that's the punish. You've had too much success. Big punch and follow-up from the McGinnis, and another one. Big punch and the follow-up from McGinnis here. Plague on the Abrams getting the last hit. Will contribute to the overall. Out the Guardian. Did he steal that from his teammate? And just goes ahead, and the Aggies make the first stride of the game.
Abrams is a big boy. He needs his protein. He needs a bit of a meal in between work. But yeah, Cloud
Honestly,
just
same.
executed there. There was a warrant out for his arrest, and it was served. Is in to try and save McGinnis, make sure she gets away just fine. And yeah, now as things start to settle, it is Texas Aggies with 2 Guardians remaining to Nebraska's 1, and very low health, mind you. And so Nebraska falling just a slight bit behind here, but very winnable. They'll even come in here to make that Guardian count even. Right. Side up, and that means so much more space for Nebraska to be able to take. Still 3 Sinners up on their side of the map as we get into the fights. No time to farm. Here comes the black hole, following up on the death slam, and that is 2 free kills. Plague and Encore down immediately.
There were 2 members of the Aggies lurking in the jungle. Pretty sure they were grabbing Sinners. And if they had responded to that, maybe. But the props I want to give to Cloud is just how quickly it happened. He's fat.
Yeah.
He knows it. He shows up. Oh, down. Out. And out. No link. Just did my job. Peace. It's exactly what you want. Cloud does an excellent job, and as a result, he is the lobby leader. 10 minutes hit. And we'll start shifting out of the laning phase into the brawling phase. Mid lane is where we will do it. Guardian falls as Encore still split pushing. But guess what? Gigabyte's got 2 different players underneath him. Skeely and Cloud wind up falling. Okay.
I just had to flex on him.
Yep.
Show me good.
Just do it. I can. Just letting you know. And the urn.
That'll be the
grabbed.
Picked up for Aggies. Yep. Trying to make use of that temporary space advantage. They got to push out this right side, but McGinnis is exactly the hero to do it. As he will be down a lot of crucial ultimates here for Nebraska Esports to take this fight. You'll just have the lasso and the chain gang to start things off, and maybe Shromo gets a second health bar somewhere in there. So Aggies going to take up on their lead. Nebraska trying to find something in return. There comes the lasso, but it's Skelly who's the one to try and to fall down in the HP, and a bunny. Urn turned in. This is looking very good for the Aggies.
Encore, pick it up where he left off game 1. Pushing and smushing faces. Walk lane, killing troopers, and anybody that has the audacity to show up just gets beat up. Very, very strong play coming from the Encore. And again, just for the 3rd time tonight, it's fun watching the oddball picks. Play what you're good at and bring it out. And you might find that victory. Game 1 certainly went in that direction. Game 2, still a lot of deadlock to be played, but Sorin is 12 minutes in, and we already have a 10K soul lead here for the Aggies. This is enough space to start looking for more audacious invades, and well, you don't want this. 2 dead, unanswered, and Abrams might be 3. He will. Never mind.
Nebraska with a fantastic advantage fight there. They brought, I think it was 5 of their members to bear in that little skirmish, and Texas Aggies just not quite able to rotate fast enough. That is a weakness of something like the McGinnis. You know, called out in game 1 how the rest of the team was enabling Encore to farm up a storm. You got to have, if you start a fight and then realize that you need your McGinnis, she's not that quick to the fight a lot of the time. Just 2 stamina, unless you pick up something like the kinetic dash, which Encore has.
Keep your eyes on Lash.
And no real movement abilities to get you there. So you gotta have your McGinnis in the right place, and that time just not quite there. So Nebraska start to even things up. Now we're down to a 4K soul lead.
Let's go yellow.
As the Texas Aggies feel like they have to group up just to go to the bathroom here and buy some items.
Yeah, that's one of the things about McGinnis is that she demands a response, and she's not a great responder, right? Very interesting, very fun design as a result. Mid lane and left side is where we see a concentration of Aggies. And it will be the mid lane Walker that gets pressed. It's 3-on-2, so not an overwhelming advantage, but still. Yellow's the top card, and Billy's trying to turn that around. Chain Gang is good. And they're able to get out of there, and Billy's happy. That is a victory for Billy. Trade the ult to shove 3 players off of your Walker. W.
Gives Nebraska some time to come out and try and claim some farm. The doubles there respawned at 14 minutes. And Nebraska, not sure if it's because they've been taking their farm or because the Aggies have. That's an unfortunate miss there and some frustration from some side. I feel you, man. That's a tough one to hit sometimes, but not a whole lot of farm on the blue side of the map right now. Texas Aggies, I believe, have been making some pushes to try and claim that. As we see more centers starting to respawn. This is a time where you can start to flex that macro advantage. Get on the right people at the right time, and you can get a soul lead from these centers. Or from these buffs that are about to spawn.
Lash is in the middle of everybody. This is dangerous for the man. It almost feels... But here's the thing, and I'm laughing at this, because Lash is being so ridiculous right now that if I'm the Aggies, I'm like, don't follow him. The entire team's waiting. He's baiting us. But if you looked at the map, he wasn't! So the Aggies could have absolutely gone in. Instead, they choose to play it safe. Right call, for what it's worth. And Mina gets chased out. Dynamo does some damage, but she doesn't fall, so... Head back to base. Heal up. And return to form. Sorin left side, Geist and Pocket. Or Holiday, excuse me.
Let's go blue.
Well, just a quick shove up there, and now we're entering the real fight as we come over onto the right side where the Urn has spawned. Cloud taken down early. Encore now on 18k. Gonna be tough to deal with this McGinnis. Especially with an Abrams bodyguard there. They're getting in the damage, but the tier 3 Spectre does so much healing. Skelly's taken down as well. That'll be Aggies taking control of this Urn and extending their lead by a little bit as well. They've just got a Wraith to work past if they want to try and work down this right side Walker, which they do because they've got pressure on mid as well. The fight coming in on all sides for Nebraska. They've got to find somewhere to respond, and it's Neptic who finds one. The Magician taken down, and this mid Walker defended. Right side as well, held on to by some time, but the Urn is slipping by unchecked, and that'll be where Aggies find their advantage.
Man, before we were kind of just having so much excitement over macro, and oh, Holiday is here. Doesn't matter. Neptic finds one, and Shromo finds a Walker, so it's not a free Urn, but I really liked the play there. Push up mid, demand a response. P.S. We've got a secret guy getting Urn. Even if we don't get the Walker, we still win. Yeah, that's how you force the opponent to make the impossible decision.
But it's also how you spread yourself so thin that you lose a Walker like that. Like, it is great play, but as we say anytime in a MOBA, if you're doing one thing, it means the enemy can do another. And you have to have fantastic wave management to allow nothing on any of the 3 lanes at any time. So, a risky play, and it works out about even. So you're not really unhappy with that if you're Texas Aggies, but you also know that Nebraska had to play really well to survive that. And Neptic in particular with a heroic defensive mid-walker.
Absolutely a moment where the Aggies... So this is a mental check. The Aggies could leave that and be like, man, we should have been so... After that Urn, we should have had such a larger lead, but we let them get too much back. And that's true. But you still wound up net positive, right? Like, it's not as much as you should have gotten, but you still wound up net positive. And a lot of times, teams will become tilted off of that. Never let great be the opponent of good. If it was good, it was fine, right? Next time, do it better. Absolutely. But you're still here. You still have a slight lead. And on the other side for Nebraska, it's the opposite. You're feeling good about this. You're like, hey, man, they're kind of beating us up a little bit. But it feels like they should be way more up than they are right now. For all intents and purposes, this is a tie game. And Nebraska feel very confident, ready to go in. It becomes about the individuals. Stromo's got 20K. She's ready to go. Let's fight.
Matched here by Macro on this Mina. Getting a lot of damage, but taking a lot in return. This guy does hit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And Mina will have to beat a hasty retreat. As Aggies do have lane prio in all 3 lanes, they just don't really have much to do with it at the moment. The urn is gone, mid-boss not really up for the taking yet, and all the farms out. So the question that really takes a good team like these two to one of the greats is, how do you plan when there's nothing on the map? Can you roam around as a team and find these picks and find them well? Right now, John Lee is trying to make something happen, but Cloud is just able to get out pretty safe. And nothing really comes of it, and so Aggies and Nebraska both searching for something to do with their souls and not really finding much.
The fun Deadlock is that at various points of the game, it's not always about doing the right thing. Sometimes it's about not doing the wrong thing. That's where we are right now. Like, what's the right thing to do? Like you just discussed. I mean, we're going to just farm and wait, right? But there are certainly things you can't do. Don't be by yourself past midfield. You know what I mean? And it becomes about finding these mistakes. So Nebraska and Texas playing very well and making sure not to fall into these pitfalls and get in trouble.
You will suffer.
Little
You
scuffle
can see the
here.
calls right here.
Yeah, both teams
Mina's on
setting
top
up
and
for these
everybody's
break
aware.
buffs.
They'll
Very
spawn right
calm
now.
take here, I think. Yep, it'll be one aside. I believe that was Skelly picking up the gun buff there for Nebraska, and they're going to take that immediately and go over to mid, try and find a lasso. Doesn't connect onto the pocket, but the black hole certainly does, and that's a pick onto John Lee, and the urn picked up as well for Nebraska. They've just got to get over to these side lanes, make sure they don't lose a walker for this. And if things continue to go good for them, we are past the 20-minute mark. Mid-boss starts to become a thought, but you got to get there first. Find a little more.
Sinclair and Docs over by the urns. Okay. Free urn for Nebraska Esports, keeping this tied. Texas, despite falling down there once or twice, they actually found themselves getting that little bit of a lead back, maybe 10K up, and just like that, urn, see you later. Now we've got a fight defending on the right-hand side. Paradox by herself. 3 players in blue jerseys walking down the field, and Sinclair will show up to play defense, but with Lash and Wraith and Holiday here, that's a tall order, but still it's enough. And Nebraska are going to go ahead and retreat. The side of Sinclair, just enough to send them packing, but now he's getting in trouble, so he's gone.
Yeah, both sides there pressing a walker and then backing off despite having a man advantage. The left side, Neptic stalled out for just long enough for Arctic to come in. It does eventually give his life in defense with the left walker. But that is where Aggies are trying to put on pressure to make up for that lost turn, and they don't quite find anything besides the one kill, so positive trade. And now, trying to make more of it are the Aggies. They find out sometime, but he's got the telekinesis to be able to get away, and nothing coming of the Sinclair either. So both sides trying to find something. They are putting good pressure on the map. It's just the defense is too good. Actually, a slight hole here found by Blake. He goes in and manages to take a walker.
Very important. Very important take. Yeah. Obviously some raw soulage, but the item slot. Stromo finds Encore, and Mina's still here. Yeah, that's going to be big. A minute down for the McGinnis player. Mina's on the run. If Mina falls down as well, but she won't. So not what we're talking about. 2 players down is enough at this point in time for Nebraska to start sniffing around, and if not all out going for the mid, feigning a fight somehow, right? But without that secondary pick, you really do not have the space to do much of any of it. And so Nebraska have done an extremely good job of staying relevant, finding these off picks every now and then. And although the takedown of Encore or Sorin wasn't enough to like have them find a new objective, it was enough for, again, to retie. I feel like they've tied the game up multiple times.
Mid-boss now. Yeah, but this is their chance to really break out. They've caught Aggies a little unawares. Maybe could have gone for this earlier when they had the lane prio, as there is now an opportunity for some of these players to come in and contest. We'll see if it happens. The Dynamo Black Hole, though, locks everybody down, and Nebraska Esports will take all 3 rejuves and a couple of kills to back it up. The Whisper himself, boost, going very low, but he's got the assist to get out. Played so lucky. John, a big affliction, but that's not going to be enough. He trades out his life for it. And you might not have waves, but you certainly got the time to get them now if you are Nebraska Esports. An important moment in the game there.
Insane confidence. Insane confidence. That's a call where you just ask your team, you ready to fight? It's a tie game, and they've been bullying us a little bit. Do you believe in yourself? Like, you just have one of those Braveheart moments, like, do you believe you can make it happen? Because it's a tie game. You don't, like you said, you don't even have wave pressure. There was nothing that gave them an advantage. They just decided to take the fight. They decided to win the fight. They decided to grab the rejuve, and now they're deciding to push this mid-lane walker. Shromo falls down, but has the revive quite obviously. Here's the response from Texas A&M. Dynamo's not here. Dynamo doesn't have an ult after that, so maybe less important. However, the rest of the team is here, and they're ready to bang. Trouble for the Wraith. She's silenced and pushed out. 80% HP on her, and she's still ready to go. Mina, all the way down, critical, and sometime is brought down. That's huge. Now, Macro doesn't have the revive, so it's a W for Nebraska still, as 2 members sit down. Encore takes out the Wraith. Boy, they were targeting her. And that's an important takedown. Shromo still available. And Neptic makes it happen. That should be the rest of the dominoes here. Fantastic job by Nebraska to just withstand this. Sometime was the carry. Texas A&M were able to kind of stem the bleeding because they stared at Sometime. That was the target they needed. They killed her 3 separate times, I think. And it still wasn't enough. Nebraska win the fight. They take the walker. And then they bail. Great use of the mid buff.
Yeah, it worked out for them, but I do feel that that was an overly risky play. I've said how many times I've watched a team take a lead and then throw it away at the altar of mid-walker. I felt like that was going to happen there, but just a little bit more damage than the Aggies were anticipating. Great work from Nebraska, not just fighting straight up into the walker, but going around it to find some of those picks. That was where they excelled, is when they got away from the walker and they could actually use their rejuve advantage. Despite the whole thing starting off with Shromo getting pulled under it.
I mean, that's the vibe of the game right now. We're just Gamba. 149 all. We have the exact amount of souls. Let's do mid-boss, see what happens.
Now they did
it.
They did have the better mid-boss comp. I think that was what they called out, is that we've got Black Hole, we've got Death Slam. Let's just try it. Because Aggies don't have a whole lot of mid-boss ultimates aside from, like, the Affliction. And that's about it.
They do have Sinclair to do the same thing back, you know? But Lasso in trouble. She's good. Great heads-up play there by Nebraska. They've been flipping coins, and everything's coming up Millhouse. The Aggies are grouped up on the right-hand side, and Nebraska's spread. If the Aggies make a play, this is going to be where it is. And the response to Nebraska is delayed, but it is here. Lash outside the fight on the right, and Holiday outside the fight on the north. So you've got a 5-on-4, and it's enough. The trade sometime goes down. That's the carry. And Pleak falls, but he's not. So with Nebraska's carry out, Texas sort of gains control of this team fight. And they're absolutely looking for more since they're down. Pocket Affliction comes out. That'll send Billy in the other direction. But here comes literally every other button. Stomp and the Quantum Entanglement gets Big Man out, and Neptic finds the kill on to Mina, who is a threat. That was the Aggies' moment. They stayed too long. Now they're getting into some trouble as Arctic takes down Gigabyte. Encore found some victories, but falls down as well. 4 in a row for a streak for Arctic as well. And Nebraska flirted with failure, but ultimately They are big chillin'. 30,000 souls up. And 2 minutes shy of a half hour, Nebraska Esports have control of the game and are pushing the final walker on the enemy side of the map.
It looked a little hairy in that fight at times. The Magician copied the Dynamo ult, but didn't really find a whole lot off of it. They did get Stromo, but it was just a one man to confirm that kill. And it started off well for them, right? They took out some time. That's your damage, you think, but Nebraska don't really have a hard carry in this comp right now. I mean, hero-wise, yes, Stromo and sometimes should be the consistent damage that you're looking for, but they've spread out the souls so much. Neptic, 36k, Cloud, 34. Arctic even is putting in good damage in these fights. Like, there is no single player that you take out and suddenly the comp falls apart. Now, normally, I don't like that a whole lot, because if one team does it and the other doesn't, you often find that, a 50k Wraith is able to carry the game a lot better than 4 30k players can. But in this case, Texas Aggies also don't have a hard carry in their comp, and so Nebraska spread things out a bit more and make it so that they don't have an Achilles heel. And they're able to just take that team fight through better individual play. And so now they're up 30k. Mid-boss is up in 50 seconds. You're up 2 walkers. This feels a lot like the position the Aggies had in Game 1. So Nebraska get to show us how they can close out a game, and Aggies get to show us how they play. Otherwise, this is one miss on the project mine, and that's sometime down.
I see Dynamo.
Rough, as a dog would say. Aggies concentrated. Nebraska spread. Mid-boss respawns. And the Aggies are going to go ahead and look for it. They are down. This is their moment. But again, Nebraska won the fight last time. Kind of ready to go. If I'm Nebraska, I'm showing up. And I think all 12 players in the lobby know it. Lash is outside knocking on the door. But if you're the Aggies, this isn't the final end-all, be-all moment, but you want to make this happen. Lash shows up, and he wants to make this happen. Groups up a whole bunch of them and tosses them to the wayside. Neptic, Cloud, Arctic, and the doubleon for Neptic after the fact. All 6 Aggies sit down. Mid-boss belongs to UNL. They got their stuff, and they are looking for the base.
And the It's About Time poster for Neptic, poetic, as that's basically going to be the end of the game here. It's Nebraska Esports still have to push the base, still have to down the patron once, and Aggies will be able to come back in. But that is the backbreaker there. Nebraska go from a winning position to 3 rejuves up and 40k. And an urn coming in. Base about to be pushed. 30 seconds for all of the Aggies to come back up. Just fantastic focus there. Cloud comes in with the unstoppable, and the Aggies aren't able to spread out enough to avoid the death slam. Neptic follows it up with the chain gang, and Bob's your uncle. Nebraska, with the amount of damage that they have in that tight corridor, are just able to take a full team wipe there, and Aggies caught a little unawares.
Both shrines down for the count. UNL looking up. And here's the patron. The respawns from the Aggies will come out. Mina up top. Nobody's looking at her, so she's able to find a little bit of damage here. Neptic is very low, and he's been the catalyst for a lot of these fights. So he's down, but he's not out. Rejuve charge 1. Nebraska started the retreat, but they're back in it. Big ultimate from Arctic. The whole team gets caught. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nebraska win.
Congratulations, Count Dracula. You got yourself a successful game. Count Dracula. Count. What's the Sesame Street character? I'm blanking. But Nebraska Esports are not, as they come up big. 2 fights in a row. 2 team fights. And it'll be 1-1. Nebraska striking back and showing that they can, in fact, close this out.
There's my favorite jazz singer.
And close things out efficiently, too. When it comes to, like, one of the things when you think about, when you talk about, like, getting good at coordinated team play MOBA, ending the game is one of the harder things to learn. Ending the game efficiently and watching the team just say, here's our plan, we execute. And then that secondary push, man, that was just theater. Nebraska was like, all right, We did our thing. Let's peel out. But wait, we have Black Hole. Wait for them to try to punish us and then win the game. Loved it. Loved it. So much fun.
Fantastic. And Neptic and Cloud are going to be the Deadlock selected MVPs of this match, and they certainly put in a performance here. Neptic, how many times did we call him coming in and at the late stages of a fight, finding some melees and getting things done? Cloud as well, some fantastic initiation. But for me, my MVP this match has to be Arctic. Like, how many impactful black holes did we see from him in this game that, I mean, we've seen how Dynamo can fall flat today. Did not happen for Arctic. Had the black holes, had the damage as well, and kept his team in the game.
I don't think Dynamo's ever been flat. He's pretty round. But I'm here for it too, man. 26 assists on the big boy. Dynamo absolutely coming out playing to win. Strong black holes. You're absolutely right. What a dynamic performance from him, no pun intended. But ultimately, you know, what's fun about it is that, like, a lot of times I refer to the crowd controllers on the team as the rhythm section, like the guitar, the drums, and the bass for the carries to do the lead sing. And this rhythm section was in the pocket. Cloud to Neptic to Arctic. Yeah. Skeely, Shromo, and sometime, like, this is one of those games that as a core player, as a carry player, you sit here and you go, thank you for making my game easier. You know, like, you just say, thank you for making my game easier, because all I had to do was my job, and you guys just facilitated. I showed up and there was someone to shoot. And this is one of those games that you say, thank you. Thank you to your supports. Absolutely fantastic crowd control from the boys. Very, very fun to watch from both sides. This was a great way to start off our season, man. Texas A&M versus UNL gave us the good stuff.
Yeah, and they will continue to do so throughout the season. This is just week 1. And up here in Group 1, there's a lot of solid teams who can deliver this type of performance. Everyone up here is higher in the ranks of Deadlock, Eternus, Ascendant at least. And so high-quality gameplay is assured here on broadcast anytime that we bring you these matches. There are plenty more to come, so don't forget to follow all of our socials. You're seeing the Twitch right here. You can go ahead and follow us on Twitter, formerly known as X, formerly known as Twitter, and make sure you keep up to date with everything that we've got going on and see us throughout the season.
And if you're a player, and if you're on campus and your school isn't involved, get involved. The Discord link is on our Twitter. You can go ahead and jump on in, because, I mean, at the end of the day, without you, we'd just be us. There's no college deadlock without college deadlockers. So we're having a blast. Thank you so much. This is the beginning of our second season, but it's the end of today's broadcast. So we'll see you next time. For Sorin, myself, everybody behind the scenes, because it does take a village, and of course the players, thank you so much for hanging out. Peace and much love to you.